Welcome back to the Trifecta Airsoft Podcast. I'm your host, E-Rock. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you never miss another podcast. Also, do me a favor. Go on to whatever podcast app you listen to us on and give us a rating and review. That really helps us rank in the searches. Thank you so much. Let's get into the podcast.
I'm good, thank you. Good.
I'm just checking the audio and yeah, we're good.
Sweet. Yeah, I had a
Welcome.
little last minute thanks. I had a last minute technical difficulty. So it's phones and AirPods.
No, it's actually it sounds good.
Oh, good. Good, I'm
Yeah.
glad.
Yeah. Oh well, you look good.
Thank you. I've been at work all day, so I'm like a little bit tired.
No kidding. I literally walked in the door probably 20 minutes ago from work. And I still have my work boots on and my work pants on. All I did was change my shirt because I was busting up some walls. I was dirty as hell.
I
So
suppose you can only see that bit, so it just kind of works.
exactly. I was like, oh, in fact, my dirty shirt is laying over here because I didn't even have time to go in there. I wanted to get some coffee. And so I knew you were nervous, so I didn't want to keep you waiting too long.
That's fine. I've just been sat here for the last half an hour.
Well, I have to tell you, speaking of that, and this goes for anyone in the future, that is going to be on here. Being nervous about these is very, very normal. I was really nervous on most of the ones I've done on here. In fact, there's been a couple of them where I was so nervous, I would drink like a lot before I would do it. Well, then as we start talking, it's like being at a party, so you're drinking and as you're talking with people, like you don't realize how fast you're drinking. So you just keep drinking and talking and drinking and talking.
Yeah.
And some of these go, like over an hour and stuff. So I've had a couple in the past, a couple of these podcasts where probably, 45 minutes in, I'm blasted. I mean, I am wasted. Like rambling.
I kind of wish I did that, but
Oh,
I've just been drinking some iced tea instead.
yeah, I hear you. Yeah, the one I did with I did one with somebody a while ago in the UK, and partway through we were making jokes, and I said something. I made this comment, and he goes, I said, well, I don't care about that stuff. And he goes, well, yeah, because you're drunk, E-Rock. I said, I know, I really am. But yeah, I was really, really nervous doing these. And even when I would have somebody on for a second time, I was very nervous. So, like I said, this goes for anybody in the future, yourself as well, Caitlin. This, these are recorded. Okay. If it makes anyone feel better or makes you feel better, these are recorded. We're just two people talking about your airsoft experience. And a lot of times I will kind of tell a lot of my story during it to kind of help people get a little more comfortable because I know they're nervous. When I did the one with Alex Hillary, she was doing it on her phone as well. She held up this what she was drinking. It was some kind of ale or something, and she goes, yeah, this is my liquid courage because I was so nervous.
It didn't cross my mind because I was that nervous. I was more just like, how am I going to do this? What do I do? And I realized all I need to do is kind of talk, which I do anyway. And I think when I get really nervous, I just start talking and talking and talking. So this might be a very long podcast.
Hey, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, like I said, if you don't like it at the end, you're like, man, I just didn't feel like I felt like I was too nervous and I didn't make any sense or whatever. Anything, just tell me at the end or send me a message later and be like, hey, don't post that.
Okay.
It'll be fine. Because this won't come out. These are like 2 weeks behind. So I've already got a handful of them scheduled. I talked with your boyfriend. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah.
So I talked to Dan last week, and you know what's funny is I messaged you a long time ago. I found your Instagram through Red Panda. You know Bernie.
Yeah, burn it. Yeah.
Yeah. So and you know I'm always looking at different people's profiles, like airsofters, whoever comments or something, and I'm like, oh, I'll have them on, you know. And I think I messaged you a long time ago, and you messaged me back saying, "Oh no, I'm too shy for that."
Yeah, I remember that. And
Yeah.
yeah, I remember clicking back on the conversation after you had done the one with Dan, being like,
Hmm.
"Oh, that wasn't so bad." Sending the message and then instantly going, "Oh no, like, oh no, I'm too shy."
You're doing great. You're gonna be fine. Like I said, it's nobody's here, nobody's listening, nobody's, you know, this ain't live or nothing. So um yeah, it's not a big deal. I was glad you said that though last week, because I was like, I remember messaging you a while ago, and I just said you were too shy. And then when you know Dan was on, uh, you know, you messaged me after, and I was like, all right, cool, that'll be good. You
Yeah,
know, that's good.
yeah, that's. I think after watching and hearing Dan like talk and stuff, because he could be quite shy. I just
Okay.
thought I think I could definitely do it, and then I just sent the message, and I was like, "Oh no!" Now I'm starting to panic just thinking about
Right.
it.
Oh yeah. No, it's
But now
fine.
I'm here, it's not actually that bad. I think
Good.
when I actually like think about it, it's so much worse than when I actually do something.
Right. And
I
that's
suppose
most
there's
things
less.
in life, you know.
Yeah,
We
yeah. That's
build
just
this shit
anxiety.
up in our head so much. You know, we overthink stuff, you know, like whatever it is, any kind of new thing that we've not done before, any place we've not been before, you know, like a new job or whatever it is. You know, we're getting around new people that you've never met, that you have to go meet or whatever. We think all this stuff about, you know, like, oh man, you know, it's most of it is, will I be accepted, will I, you know, will I like them, they like me, you know. That's kind of what it really comes down to. And we just overthink it so much, and if you just go do something, you know, it's like
Yeah,
not a big deal.
that's literally how I started airsoft. Dan was trying to get me to go to a game for so long, like months before.
Yeah.
Um, I just kept going, no, no, I've never done it before. It looks so fun, and I've obviously seen the videos and photos that of when he does it. I was like, that looks so cool. And then it got to it where he literally just started like kind of like passing me like his like second hand like gear, being like, right, now try it on and see if it fits. Everything fit, and we went down the range, and I could shoot, and it was really fun. And I was just so anxious about my first day. I was just like, when I got there, I had no idea how to set up. I had no idea what a speed loader was. I had no idea it even needed a battery. I was just like, I have no idea. I was literally looking at Dan as he's putting like this gun together for me, and I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I doing? It did. It helped so much that Bernie. It was Bernie's first game as well. So me and
Yeah.
Bernie stuck together like physically.
Oh, that's
We
cool.
didn't leave each other. Yeah, she's now my airsoft wife. I yeah, going to a game without her is so weird.
Oh no, that's good though. Yeah, it's great to have you know, somebody, a companion, that, you know, when you first start anything new, but you know, airsoft for sure. When And that's how most people start. They get invited by a friend or a relative or whatever, and then they have somebody to kind of show them the ropes the first day, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool.
I I went down the. I know you spoke about it with Dan previously, um, about going down the range and stuff, but it was definitely just there, like that kind of sold it for me because I used right. So I worked just up the road from where we used to go.
Okay.
And I used to, when I used to have a really, really bad day at work, I'd be like, I'll text Dan, be like, I'm coming down to shoot something. Like it was like, it was the best like relief. I never thought I'd actually be out like on a site, just running around. Like I never
Yeah.
thought, because I used to be really sporty, and then it just kind of stopped when I hit like an adult age. I just kind of like, yeah, that's it. Like I don't like exercise anymore.
I hear
Yeah, it's
you.
so strange.
Yeah. Yeah, airsoft will do that, man. That's what I've seen and talked with people about. They're always like, I was so nervous about going, and I really wasn't into, because I ask a lot of people too, were you into athletics or sports, and they're like, well, in high school, but not after, and then until I got into airsoft, and now I'm just like, because you don't really think of it as a workout.
Mm,
You're just like, I just want to go and play. And most of the
yeah.
people that I've talked with, once they go and they get comfortable, then they're just like 1,000% in.
Yeah, that's literally what happened.
So,
Yeah.
so you got started in airsoft with, like you said, with obviously with Dan, and you met Bernie right away,
Yeah.
who is Red Panda, who I've had on a couple times. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, uh, her boyfriend, Marcus, texted me the day after I talked with Dan. And
Yeah.
so I'm going to have him on by himself. So
Yeah.
I've never had him on by himself. He just, him and Bernie were on together. And then, so he messaged me and was like, man, Dan told me, he had a good time, but he was really nervous. And I said, no, man, he did good. So, but yeah, I have a podcast set up with Marcus as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's
We
it's
should
cool.
definitely do like a four, like me, Marcus, Dan, and Bernie, like kind of like all
Yeah.
here. I remember you spoke about it with Dan actually, and we said we'll do it in a pub, but I don't think a British pub's going to be a good place. It's going to be too noisy.
I mean, we could just like yeah, I don't know how it would work with the audio, but I would love to try it. I think it'd be fun, a fun
Yeah.
atmosphere. If we could figure out some kind of audio uh that we could hear you guys talking, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. I'll leave Dan to that because he's the technical one, so he can figure out audio.
Matter of fact, somebody in the UK, we've been messaging back and forth the last couple of days, and yesterday he said he so we set up a podcast for next week, and he wants to use his DSLR because he doesn't have a
Mm.
webcam. And I was like, oh, you need to talk to Dan Hayes.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know if you follow him on Instagram, but because I think Dan was telling me he was setting that up for our podcast last week or whatever.
Yeah, I know he's had to stay later at work, so it's
Yeah.
kind of ruined all that. But it was all left in his car, but I don't know how to set it all up because I'm not technical, so I've just set my phone like against like my lamp
Yeah,
and
no
I'm sat
kid.
on the floor hoping for the best.
Okay. No, it looks great. Yeah, the video is fine. It's fine. The big
Good.
thing on these, what I try to get, mostly is decent audio. And yours is sounding awesome right now. So
Brilliant.
yeah. And it's weird because sometimes, I've had people on that use the same earbuds. What do you call those? The
AirPods, like the little
AirPods.
things. Yeah.
Yes. I can never remember that. I'm always like, what are they? iBuds? What are they called
I,
again?
d- I bet.
I
They're,
don't know.
they're
Yeah.
really like weirdly shaped for me because I've got weird ears. So mine have to be like stuck out here, which is why I'm like
That's well, my
trying to use my
ears,
hair.
yeah, see, my ears are weird, shaped weird too. Like the bottom part. Well, I was in wrestling in high school and didn't wear headgear all the time. And so slamming my head on the mat, my the bottom part of my ears started turning out. And
Oh wow.
so yeah, so they're kind of, sticking out. So when I put those earbud type of things in my ear, first of all, it hurts because it doesn't fit right, but it does the same thing. It like the bottom sticks out, and
Yeah.
I can't wear it.
When I'm listening to my music, I have to like turn them like up like that because for some reason I can hear like a lot better like that. So if I
Oh,
stick them in like this, there's like nothing. I have no idea why. I've
yeah,
never really questioned it. I just kind of put them in,
right.
hide it, and go on with my day.
It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. Yeah.
It's the
Well,
hair.
you're it sounds really good. And some other people I've had on that use the same thing. I'm not sure if there's kind of interference in their apartment or I'm not sure what's going on, but it does. I can't hardly hear them. Like it'll cut out a lot. And
Oh,
yours sounds really, really smooth. So whatever it is,
nice.
it's working. So
Good.
yeah. Heck yeah. So what kind of, you said you were at work all day. What kind of work do you do?
I work in a call center, so
Okay.
I'm that really annoying person that rings you up about warranties on your white goods.
Oh
But
shit.
to be, yeah, I'm one of those. But the thing is I'm a nice one. If you don't want it, then I'm not going to annoy you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure most of them are, I mean, they're just doing their job. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's always that joke about the in fact, I just saw a video somebody did, it was Airsofter recently that made kind of a funny video about it. He was having, it was a short video, it was like he was having this bad day, like everything was going wrong. Something, he fell out of his truck, and when he got out, he tripped and fell, and this happened, he dropped his phone, and this, and he forgot his keys for the office or something. So he finally gets in there. As soon as he walks in, he gets a phone call, he answers it, and he's like, no, I don't want my warranty on my car extended or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, I do like over 200 phone calls a day. Um, you do get your odd few that are having a bad day, and I just leave them to it.
Yeah.
Like you do get the old, yeah. As soon as you answer the phone, it's fuck off, and you're like, fair enough, fair enough. Because if I got that phone call, I'd be like, yeah, no. So I
Yeah.
get it, I get it. But sometimes, I think where I'm quite like, I can be really chatty, which is why it's quite funny that I was nervous to come on this.
Yeah.
People just do stay on the phone, not because they want what I'm selling, but because they want to have a chat with me, which is really nice. So I
Yeah.
spend half the day talking to really nice people and half the day being told to go fuck myself. So it's a it's a happy medium. It's a happy medium.
Well, as long as you have a good balance towards the end of your
Yeah,
day, where most of your calls towards the end has where you're not ending with like 30 people that tell you to fuck off at the end. At least you
yeah.
have maybe a couple in the end where they're like, kind of nice.
I mean,
Not always.
no, not always, but
And that's when you go
that's
to the
why.
range.
Yeah, that's when I went to the range. Every time I had a bad day, I'd text Dan. He's probably already down there buying something unnecessary, or be, or just shooting something or learning something. And I'll text him and be like, "Can I borrow your gun?" Or like the person who owned it, I knew since I was a little girl. Or I'd just message him on Facebook, being like, "I'm coming down, get everything ready." But I never like, she's had a bad day, don't talk to her till I've shot something.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Now, are you from the area you're at now? Did you grow up there?
Yeah, yeah, my whole life actually. The place I live, Brighton, the actual little like kind of like town village place I lived there since I was a baby, and I've actually dotted around from like here to like here around the village. So I've like experienced each side of it, but I've never really left.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know my family. They're actually half Maltese, half Irish. So I spent some time in Malta as well. Haven't actually been to Ireland yet,
Okay.
but I'm not complaining. Malta's very hot. Ireland's quite cold.
Oh, okay. You don't like the cold?
I mean, I actually do prefer the cold, but if I'm going on holiday, I kind of want a different scenery to the UK because it's always raining. It's always cold. You get
Uh,
like 2 weeks of summer and then it's just cold.
oh
So
shit.
yeah,
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, the area I grew up in, it was pretty similar. Kind of like it was Cleveland, Ohio, which is like up by Lake Erie, which is kind of by Canada. And well, not kind of by Canada, it is by Canada.
yeah,
And so yeah, and it was cold and dreary a big part of the year. So a lot of rain, like spring is a lot of rain. You'll have 4 days of rain and 1 or 2 days of, you know, nice. But summertime is not bad, but it doesn't last very long compared to where I'm at now. Oh, did he finally make it home? There he is.
Oh,
Hell
I've
yeah.
got AirPods in.
AirPods in. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, there we go.
Hello.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, not too much. Not too much. Just finished work.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I'm using the phone.
Hell yeah. So yeah, it was really cold where I grew up too. And then in the military, I was stationed in all hot places and loved it. Loved it. I never wanted to go back to the cold. And I'm still that way today. I'd rather deal with, hot weather than freezing cold. But I will say this, Christmas time, I want some snow. Okay. It just
I
makes
do
it
love
look
snow.
nice.
Yeah, no, I think with cold weather, I just prefer it because then I could just wear like baggy jumpers. Dan shaking his head because he's such like a summer baby. But I prefer like just like tracky bottoms, like fluffy socks, hot chocolates, just anything that makes me feel warm, where I don't have to like wear shorts or something. Because I'm a bit of like a air quotations around tomboy, bit of a tomboy. I like to dress in like baggier clothing, so it's just like more comfortable. Whereas
Yeah.
where it's hot, I don't like wearing shorts, but I don't wear like tighter clothing. I just feel really constricted. So yeah, cold weather unless I'm going on holiday, because then I pay to be in the warm. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Oh yeah. Okay.
Good.
Now, you have any siblings?
I have 5 sisters.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
actually tattooed on my arm.
Oh, check it out. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see. Oh no.
Yeah, that look. Now, what are those?
So they're Russian dolls. It might be
That's what I
easier for me
thought.
to phone towards it actually. So they've actually got like the birth flowers in the middle.
Oh,
So
that's
this
cool.
one here, that's me. And then so I'm the second, and then it goes
Okay.
down to the little tiny one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got 5 sisters. None of them
Wow.
are into airsoft though.
Are you guys all close in age?
Yes, other than the younger one. So we are like 2 years apart mostly, but the my youngest sister, she is a good. Let me work this is gonna make me feel really old now. She
I
is a
know it.
good 12 years. 12 years.
12. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was
she's
the
the little
oops.
baby. She's the favorite. She was actually planned. She was good.
Isn't that what most people say though? Like, oh, that was the oops. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think I might have been, but well,
Oh shit.
oh well, I'm the funniest one, so it's fine.
Oh, that's good. You get along with all your sisters?
um, yeah, I think as we got older, we all get along because we're adults now. But when we were younger, my parents went grey at a very young age. Just to say that.
Oh, I'm sure. Like as soon as you said that, yeah, I have well, my wife and I have 5 kids,
Yeah.
mix, 3 boys, 2 girls. And friends of ours have 4 girls. And and I'm like, bro, when they get older, look out.
That's exactly what my dad's going through. So my dad has 5 girls and 2 granddaughters. So
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah, he's having a great time.
That's wild. Hell yeah. That's good. Now,
Yeah.
are any of them into airsoft like you?
No, none of them. They don't really do a lot of sport. I mean, we all used to when we were younger, but I
Yeah.
think we've all gone off like kind of different routes. I mean, I reckon if I got them doing it, like just down there for a day, like using like rentals and whatever, but they'd all enjoy it because we're all so competitive. I think it would be a case of we'd probably go on like different teams just to shoot each other, but and not get told off for it. But
Yeah.
I think if I got them doing it, they'd definitely enjoy it, but they're not actually into it. Although I reckon I could definitely get at least one of them doing it.
Yeah. Now, do
It's
they
just that,
do they all know that you play airsoft?
yeah, they all know. Yeah, they think the sport suits me because it's kind of like a little bit of a energy and anger release. But
Applying pressure.
Oh yeah.
impressive. Yeah, my first ever game of airsoft, I full auto down by accident, but by accident.
All right.
Yeah, that was funny. So I didn't switch it to safety. I accidentally switched it to full auto. So we're being surrounded, and he's just like, right, it's going to really hurt if you get hit like from this distance. Just put your hand up and go. And I was like, okay, put my hand up. So as I've lifted my gun up, I've then just gone and pelted him all the way up.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I wasn't taught trigger finger discipline at all. It was just straight to full auto instead of safety, and then And it
Uh,
was kind of like he's in pain on the floor, and I'm like, I don't want to get hit. Bye. I'm sorry. Bye.
see
Straight
ya.
off. It's his fault. He brought me there.
Oh, that's funny. Hell yeah. What when you guys what sport did you play when you were in school? Like you and your sisters, what were you guys into?
Uh, so at school, we pretty much played every single sport we could. We were such a sporty like family, I suppose. I think outside of school, me and well, they were all into it at one point. We all did dance,
Oh
so we
yeah.
were all dancers. Some of them stopped it a little bit early because they just kind of think maybe lost the passion for it and just couldn't
Right.
be asked because it's a lot of training. It's a lot. And me and my younger sister just below me, so that one on the arm, we we then carried on. We actually became championship, like international championship dancers. So from I think the age of I started when I was about 6, and she started when she was about 7, 8. And then it's all the way up until we were about 16, 17. So I would have been 16, 17. She would have been like 14, 15.
Yeah.
We just kind of started concentrating a little bit more at school. I say concentrating, we just probably needed to, but started like doing different things, going like to a few parties and whatever. But yeah, I
Right.
managed to make it up to being a champion, and then kind of threw in the towel.
Yeah. My
I also,
oh, go ahead. I was
I
gonna
was
say
gonna
both my
say,
daughters were in dance as well. Yeah.
yeah, it's such a good sport. I don't think anyone realizes how much training and how much exercise and everything it is. It's a
Y'all
lot.
make
It's
it
not
look
just
easy,
spins.
for
Yeah,
real.
it's not. It's really not. It's a lot of. It was like at least I think it was 6 days a week training and then a competition on a Sunday every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Um, I also played football for a little bit as well.
Okay.
So I did that for 5 years, and then I went off to college. Yeah, so I stopped for a little bit and then just never got back into it.
Yeah. What'd you
Yeah.
study at college?
I studied the first year, I did childcare. So yeah, started working in nurseries and things like that. And the second year I did digital media and photography, but I
Oh,
didn't manage to finish that course. I didn't
okay.
finish it, but I done it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't finish it.
Yeah. And now you're
So
with a photographer.
yeah, now I'm with a photographer. Yeah, so I get the photos taken off me now, which is quite nice.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's quite
that's
nice
cool.
to have my own personal photographer.
Yeah.
But it's really annoying for him because like if he doesn't get any photos of me on the day or something, I'll be like, bro, come on.
I
Yeah.
always joke with my kids because I'm always the one. I'm not a photographer. I didn't study it or anything like that, but I'm always taking pictures since the kids, my kids were little, and they're all, they're always complaining like, "Can you stop taking pictures? Do you have to take so many pictures?" I'm like, "Bro, you're gonna like it when you're older and you have all this, So, but I always joke with them like, I'm never in the pictures. So because I'm always on the other end of the phone, the camera. And I'm like, y'all better start taking pictures with me in the group, because when I'm gone, you're not going to have anything. But now, of
Yeah.
course, that was before I started doing these. Now my ugly mug is out here for 150 podcasts or whatever.
It's on the internet forever. So
Oh, that's terrible.
it's yeah, no, Dan sometimes says that. He always gets really nice photos of everyone. And then sorry, he's decided to grab the Pringle tube. Um yeah, no, Dan always says he always gets really nice photos of people. And then when it comes to like him, it's kind of like they'll try and take photos, but it's either like sometimes a little bit blurry or
Yeah.
like not up to his standard because he's a perfectionist. But it's yeah, I've tried to start taking photos. So like the one of Marcus and Dan on the escalators. Like I'm
Oh
given the
yeah.
camera, so I've done photography before, but I'm there like shaking, like don't mess it up, don't mess it up. I can't remember what I'm doing. I know you meant to just press like that, but it's not that easy.
Oh, that's why I just use my phone. I'm just like, bro, I can't do all these different settings and the lens thing and all that kind of stuff. I'd forget.
Yeah, I do remember a few bits and bobs. And when I went to NAF, when I was taking photos, at first, when I first went out to start, I was like, oh, these are going to be awful. Like, I can't remember what I'm doing. And then got halfway through the day and I started taking some really good photos. I was like, oh, now I remember what I'm doing. It's just a case of I just need to be prepared to be hit and like just getting really weird angles.
Mm,
And then, yeah, and then Dan does the magic in the editing. So even if it is a bad photo, he's a genius. He'll fix it.
yeah, yeah, they could fix pretty much anything.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Yeah. Hell yeah. Now, did you have any hobbies before you started airsoft? Or do you have any
um,
other hobbies?
I don't actually think I did, which is why I'm quite happy I started because I didn't really have like obviously I've got friends. That sounded really bad, but I didn't really have
Yeah.
like a different social network where you've got like your different friendship kind of groups that you go to. I
Yeah.
only really had one, which is fine, but it was really nice to have like a different airsoft community. Like
Right.
Marcus and Birdie, they're brilliant. They're like really good friends. I met like people like Fabio, uh, Uncle Pyro, Uncle Rob, and so many other people that I would mention their names, but there's so many. Um, just to like message and just see like when I go airsoft, and it's just really nice to just network. Is that the word? Networking?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just really nice. And now when I started, when I made the new airsoft account, I didn't expect to actually have like people I didn't know message me and then be like, oh, I really want to meet you. Like we can go to a game together. Like it's a really good like community to be part of, and I'm really glad that I actually started because of that reason as well.
Right.
Yeah, so I didn't really have any hobbies. That sounds really sad. I just went to work. Just made some money.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's that's most people really. Once you're out and working and doing your own thing, it's like you go to work and then you hang out with your friends. Like go out to eat, go out to drink, go party or whatever, and you watch a couple shows here and there or whatever. Like that's most people in daily life, right?
Yeah, I think it was nice to have a hobby outside of just going to the pub because that's
Yeah.
such a typical sentence. Like in my friendship group, it's just that you open up a group chat and someone just put pub question mark and everyone's just there. Like it's fun. It
Oh
was
yeah.
quite nice to be like, oh no, I can't. I'm getting up early for airsoft in the morning. Wake up with a clear head on the weekend for once.
I was talking with somebody recently, and I said, yeah, when I got to, I was stationed in Okinawa, Japan, for a year, and when I got there, I'm like, oh, there's all these things to do. They had scuba class, you could take classes, learn Japanese, all this stuff on the military base. They had, martial arts classes and stuff, that were like Japanese based. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do all this stuff. It was all fresh and new. Yeah, that lasted like 2-3 weeks, and then I was just out with everybody else drinking, getting drunk every night. So
I mean, you do have me and Marcus out of both. We do like a drink.
oh yeah.
Usually after a game on a Sunday, we'll look at each other and be like, pub.
Right.
And that's just pub. We're like, go on then, have one.
For
But we
real.
like to call ourselves functioning alcoholics.
Oh, I've joked about that for the first couple years on our YouTube channel. I would always say that. In fact, I would drink on almost every single video. I would have a beer in my hand in the video. And the first time I didn't have a beer in my hand, I was doing a live stream. That's what it was. I was doing a live stream, and that was the first time I didn't have a beer in my hand on the video. And a couple of people that were watching were like, what have you done with E-Rock? Where's your beer? Like, what you drink on every single episode. So yeah, I was always joke like, yeah, I'm a functioning alcoholic,
Yeah,
as
that's an ongoing joke with me and Marcus. I think what did we say when we went to AI? I think we got really happy because there was a pub across the road from the hotel we were staying at.
oh
And we
nice.
just got really happy. Yeah. I mean, as long as you put a function in front of it, it's absolutely fine.
Of course.
So we spent more time at the pub than I are. No, we did.
Oh yeah, I hear you. So what do you guys what do you got planned for airsoft in the next month or so?
Well, we are, well, Dan this Sunday is actually going up to Driverwood, one of our local sites, to go take some photos for Josh Krios. So I know we've got a few dates coming up where we'll be going up just to take some photos. I'm kind of planning on every time Dan goes up to go take a photo, like go take photos like a like dog tag, or no, it's not. It's just Driverwood. Yeah, it's just Driverwood.
Yeah.
That's just pop in the car, go with him, have a couple of games, kind of try and find them, find the camera, get some more photos.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think we've got much planned.
Yeah. When you were at the place where you took the photo of him and Marcus on the escalator, were you
Yeah,
playing? Did you play at
Yeah.
that? Or oh, okay, you played too.
yeah, we played. So we what we like to do is whenever we go to like a site or something, we will get a photo. There will be a photographic opportunity somewhere.
Yeah.
So usually we'll just be like, oh, Dan, like it's on a break. You can take a photo of me.
Yeah.
And that's not just me, that's quite a few other people. Or Dan will just do it like literally while in like gameplay, while there's like crossfire, Dan will just be on his phone like just to try to take a photo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I know that we want to go to a few different sites. Like I've got my eyes on going back to the bunker, which is in Portsmouth. It's like this underground, just pitch black. Was it World War II bunker? Yeah, World War II bunker.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I enjoyed that so much because I've never really done a CQB like inside type thing.
Okay.
So when I got down there, I was just kind of like, this is gonna hurt like a motherfucker. This is gonna be like so close range, like. And I actually enjoyed it so much that even if I got hit, I was like, this is so fun.
Yeah.
But it was just so dark. So I think I need to go purchase a torch, go spend some more money on airsoft, go spend more money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so before I go back down there, I'll be making a few more purchases. I can't do it now.
You're listen, you're excused from all that because you talk all day. You're allowed to mess up. It's okay.
Yeah, where I talked for like 8 hours of the day, 5 days a week, because it's like a call, like a 5 to 10 second break, and then a call, and then a call.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I get home from work, if Dan's not at work, he'll go to talk to me, and I'll be like, just
Yep.
shush. Or like he'll put the music on in the car, and I'll just turn it off, like just
Yeah.
some bliss.
Silence. Right.
But he's
Yeah.
quite hyperactive, so it's just never silent. Like he's struggling right now. He's really trying.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my next question is when you get home from work, it's probably one of those things where he wants to talk and you don't. You're like, dude, just I don't want to talk to anybody. My wife does the same thing. She works in a doctor's office, like family practice, doctor's office. So most of her day is taking care of the patient, for the doctor. And then the last half of her day, she does all these phone calls. So she gets all these calls. She has to, screen them and transfer them to the doctor or whatever. But a lot of the people she has to talk to for a while because they have so many questions, and she'll get home and just be like, and I'll already be home from work, and I'll come out, talk to her or something, and she's like, just
Yeah. It's nothing personal. It's literally like you just need that bit to just kind of like get out of work mode to be at home mode. But if you've spoken to someone for that long or you've had loads of phone calls, it's so hard to just kind of switch off. Like on this podcast, I've said brilliant and lovely. I don't say those words, but I'm on the phone, so like naturally have gone kind of into work mode. So I'm just kind of adding some nice words in there. So yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It's nothing personal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've been together long enough. We know each other's, like, she don't even have to, like, I could just tell by the look on her face if she walks in, like, hey, how you doing? And she's just like, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So it's time to
The
drink because you had a shitty day. Well,
international site.
let's go. Okay. So,
Well, they used to just come in with like just a bottle, like,
yep.
yep, cool. just like, yep, have it.
I've done that
Just
so many
leave the
times
room.
actually, because now all our kids are grown and out of the house, and we hang out together and stuff. So she'll come in and she'll have that look, and I'll go in, and she's this new the new drink she likes is I think it's White Claw.
White Claw. Yeah, so Marcus has mentioned White Claw many times to me,
Okay.
but I have never tried it.
Okay.
But I will probably do a nice Tesco stop on the way home to Dan's just to try it now.
Yeah, my youngest daughter, actually, she's 21, and she probably about like 2 months ago, um, brought some over when we had a bunch of people over. So my wife tried it then and was like, oh, this is my new favorite. So she likes this certain flavor, black cherry. And so I'll just grab her one. I'm like, here you go. This is what you need.
Yeah, that's like if we go to the pub, Dan knows that I'm a cider drinker usually. And I do like cherry flavored things, so it's usually a dark fruits strongbow. It's chef's kiss.
Now, what
It's
is
like
it?
the
What is
best
it?
cider.
What kind of drink is it?
It's a cider. So it's like
Like an apple
it's not
cider
that
kind of thing?
yeah, so it's apple it's a cider, so apple
Yeah.
cider. It's not too strong, but if you drink enough it you can
Oh
get
yeah.
drunk. But but it's I usually like the berry flavored one, so it's like called dark fruit, so it's like I'm
Oh,
assuming it's the same as black cherry.
right.
But I will get a white claw, which on the way home, and I'll look for the berry one, and I'll do a comparison. I'll let you know if it
Yeah.
tastes the same.
Yeah. Let me know.
So I'm sure you can get dark fruits in America. I'm sure. I don't know. Dan, Google it. Dan, Google it. I
Give it a
don't know.
googs. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm a straight up just like beer and whiskey. That's what we drank in the military. And I don't like fruity drinks. So I've tried some
yeah.
of the stuff that she gets. And matter of fact, when we're talking about Marcus, when he texted me, I was actually driving home from work. So he texted me, last week, the day after Dan and I did the podcast. And I said, he told me about, and we were trying to set up a podcast. Well, then I can only text when I would come to a stoplight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so it would go a little while in between a text. So I'm like, listen, bro, I'm driving home in a fuck ton of traffic, and these people are crazy as fuck. This is what I said. And so he goes, oh, I'm sitting here, sitting in my office or something like that, having a gin or something. And I said, fuck you. So I said, I'll be there soon because, I was about to be home. But yeah. So do you like gin at all?
I do love a gin. I do.
Okay.
I used to work in a pub. So it used to be so instead of getting a tip, you get like your customers say, oh, do you want one in a bin, like in the bin for later? So they'll pay for a drink.
Oh,
Where you print off the receipt and you just kind of circle the one that's yours. And I used to collect like a stash of them, and then after work, I would have a lot of drinks for free. So
oh,
my obviously I would take advantage of the fact that it's not a tip, but it is a drink. So I'd get a very expensive gin on that, and they wouldn't
right.
mind because obviously it's instead of a tip, I'm having a drink instead, and I usually had a drink with the locals after anyway. So
Yeah.
I used to sit with them. But yeah, I used to be a massive. I think it was called Bow Violet gin. It's like it kind of like Parma violets, but a little bit less sweet, sickly. So it's
Okay.
less sickly because I used to have lemonade instead of the tonic. So yeah, no, massive gin drinker as well. I think I am just a massive drinker. Now I'm coming to think of it. Dan's going, yeah. So
Oh
yeah, no,
yeah.
massive drinker. Yeah, no, good old Marcus on the gin. That doesn't surprise me.
It's well, it's funny because I feel like most of the people I've hung out with and military and in the military with and stuff, most of us didn't really like gin. And I'm thinking
Yeah.
most people I've talked with on in the UK, almost everybody I've talked with prefers gin.
I mean, I do a lot of beer. I do drink a lot of beer, and I do drink a lot of whiskey, and that is
Yeah.
probably down to because I actually live with my grandparents, um, and my granddad used to be in the army, and he drinks a lot of beer.
Right.
So, and there's been times when, because obviously the legal age over is 18, when I've turned 18, and he's kind of like, do you want a beer with me? And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I want a beer. So it's probably come from that, and then working at a pub or something, being able to kind of probably take a few cans home and then sit there and drink with him.
Right.
So yeah, I am a beer drinker as well. So yeah, I am just a big
Okay.
drinker of alcohol.
Yeah. Well, how did you end up working in a
It's
pub?
gone from a podcast to an alcohol anonymous meeting. It says.
No, so I I first worked in a restaurant when I was 16, and I used to pop behind the bar just to help them like clean up and stuff. I kind of got interested in just watching them pour drinks because
Yeah.
like I think as like a 15, 16-year-old watching them use like the speed pourers and the jiggers and things like that, I was just kind of really intrigued because it's not just pouring a pint.
Yeah.
So then when I turned 18, my mum's friend actually started being a manager at a pub local to me. And I went in there for an interview, and we kind of just looked at each other and were like, no way. And then like obviously I got the job, obviously. And then I ended up staying there for I think it was 4.5 years, 5 years, the same pub. So yeah, I got into it just from literally just being amazed at watching someone pour a drink into a jigger. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the pub life, it was just like for me, 18-year-old, just kind of getting free drinks, working in a pub with a really good vibe, um, being in charge of the music as well. So getting to just listen to my own music.
Okay.
I actually met one of my best friends, Holly, working in the pub. And we're
Nice.
still like, we both don't work there now, but we're still literally the best friends. So the social aspect of working in the pub as well was brilliant.
That's
But I think
cool.
it come to an age where it was like, when COVID hit and all the pubs shut and they couldn't offer shifts out as much as anymore, I had to kind of
Right.
had to leave, which was it was heartbreaking because I couldn't see the locals anymore. I loved going in seeing the locals every day, just kind
Yeah.
of seeing some of the older locals sit down and eat their dinner, and they actually came in just for a chat because they don't really have, or some of them didn't really have a lot of social life outside the pub.
Yeah.
So like yeah, working there was just it was really sweet. It was had its ups and downs, but COVID messed that up for me. But
Yeah.
onto the call center jobs.
Now you have a job where that makes you drink because
Yes. Now I have a job that drives me to drink instead of
drives
just
you to drink.
drinking because
That's
I'm
it.
there. Yeah.
Yes. Now, have you seen those? Have you seen what are the uh bartender movies? Cocktail. Have you seen Cocktail with Tom
Uh,
Cruise?
Tom Cruise cocktail.
Where he does
no.
the he does all the fancy
Do it
flipping the
does all the
bottles and shit.
mixology.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen it, but I did actually buy a few cocktail books just to learn how to do it. And I
Oh
have
shit.
one of those. I think it's in one of the drawers behind me, but it's one of those practice bottles where you can like practice like learning how to flip and kind of like moving it around your hand. So
Oh,
I've got one of those like flaring balls, that's what they're called. So I've got
so
one
it's
of
like
those
a
practice
fake
ones.
bottle.
Yeah, it's basically a fake plastic bottle, but it's heavy, like it would have liquid in it, and
Oh
it
shit.
has like a plastic speed pourer in there, so you can practice like kind of doing the flips and like pouring it
Yeah.
into cups and stuff. I did actually get quite into that during the lockdown, but yeah, no, I just kind of stopped because I never went back to the pub. But
Right.
it's in my drawer somewhere. I
That's
would
cool.
definitely get back into it now that's been brought up. I'll definitely have a look for that.
Yeah. How about Coyote Ugly? Have you seen that one?
Yeah, yeah, that's a classic. Yeah,
Yeah, it
I've
is.
seen that. They've actually opened a bar like that in London, the Coyote Ugly Bar.
Okay.
I've seen it all over TikTok. It's yeah. I'm still on
Nice.
like the pub TikTok side of things.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
Yeah,
that's
it's pretty cool.
when I went to the milsim, went to a 3-day milsim with my two sons and their friend, and back in April. So there's 700 people at this milsim, and there's a camping area like right on the AO, right? And so we're all camping, tents, and people's got their trucks and all kind of stuff set up, and campers and all kind of shit. Well, the first night when everyone gets set up, you walk through there, people have, you know, campfires going, and all you smell is alcohol and weed. It's like, it's like,
That
you
sounds like
know,
a
it's a
good
giant
time.
party. Yeah, it's a giant party.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a really good time. Yeah, no, that was kind of like that. Nah, probably less of the weed because it's not legal over here.
Yeah.
Definitely did smell it though, but it's not legal over here. Yeah, no, NAF was like one giant party, which was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like when I wasn't working, Josh was like lovely as a manager. I don't know what to call Josh. Uh, as a boss. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was lovely. He would literally he wanted to make it like the best experience for us because it was our first time there. And obviously he knows I like a drink. So when I come back from taking photos, he'll look at me like, can I open a can if you want? I'm like, yes. But,
Drinking on the job.
yeah, pretty much. But that's the whole vibe of NAF. It was just kind of like it was game day. Everyone went out, shot the shit out of each other, had a really good time. Like I was part of that percentage, but yeah, it was, everyone just had a really good time just shooting each other. And then afterwards, it was straight to like the food stands and the beer
Right.
tent and everything like that. It was brilliant. I can't wait to go again.
Oh, that's cool. So that was this your first time going to that?
Yeah, because I haven't been
Okay.
airsofting for that long. I think it's only been it was a year, a couple months ago that I've been airsofting. So it was the first one that I went to, but I'm definitely going to the one next year and then probably the year afterwards
Yeah.
and the year after that. But yeah, no, it was such a good vibe. And yeah, no, I really want I'm gonna have a game next time I go. I've already made that clear that I'll go there to work, but I'm definitely having at least half a game day because that site is unreal. It is so big.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how big it was, but
Well, when after the podcast with Dan last week, I when I got off, I was talking to my wife and I was like, so what do you think about going to the UK next year? And she was like, oh, I want to, I want to travel. She's been bugging me about traveling,
yeah.
since we got married. I was like, man, I've already traveled around the world. And so when the kids were little, I was, I was like, we're too busy. I don't want to travel all this, I was working a lot of overtime and stuff, but now I'm like, so would you like to travel, still? And she's like, yeah. I said, would you want to go to the UK next year? She's like, yes. I said, oh, okay, we'll have to look into what
Booking
I need.
those NAF tickets as soon as she said yes, just one night.
Oh my
Like, booking
gosh.
them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool though.
It's really cool because I've, talking with you guys, of course, and then a handful of other people that have been to that. I would have never thought to go to the UK for an airsoft event. And now I'm like, I'm thinking about it a lot, like planning, trying to plan it in my head, what to do. I really just need to figure out the passport thing. So we'll,
Yeah. So
you know,
you've got plenty of time to do the passport thing.
yeah,
I really want to go to America, but I wouldn't know where, how long for, how. Like, I always say to Dan that I really want to go. But I've never actually really looked at airsoft over there, to be honest. But I think I might be
yeah.
have a little look into that because apparently it's a lot angrier. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I would say it gets pretty angry over here, but everyone's so friendly. But I think when they see that I'm a girl, they kind of go, oh, like kind of go like
Yeah,
that, and I'm like, no, carry on, keep swearing, shoot me, like it's fine.
right.
It was like at AI 500. I had a few tiffs with older men trying to tell me what to do, and
Oh shit.
I think I think they were just more being a little bit more trying to be nice and helpful,
Yeah,
but sometimes it comes across a little bit patronizing. So it was kind of like, thank you, but no thank you. I'm gonna
yeah.
do my own thing.
Well, it's probably hard to
So
tell. It's probably hard to tell what their intention is, if they're
yeah,
like, because I know I've talked with a handful of girl airsofters, in the UK especially too, and they're like, hey, when they find out I'm a girl, like I just want to be treated the same. Just don't, just yeah, shoot me. Like don't worry about it. Don't say you're sorry when I
yeah,
call my hit because you realize I'm a girl. Um,
exactly.
just And then some of those guys, you know, sometimes maybe it's their, maybe they could see you're new at airsoft, and so they're trying to help, or it's she's a girl, she don't know what the fuck she's doing, so I'm gonna tell her, you know, whatever.
I think I think I don't know. No, during my first game, I actually said to Dan, I was just like, "Can you stay with me? I have no idea what I'm doing." He was like, "Yeah, sure." Whistle goes, he's fucked off. So it was me and Bernie. I think from the game, like the first ever game, I realised like I'm probably better off staying away from the men, like anyway, because me and Bernie are final by ourselves. We are a lot more
Yeah.
tactical. I'm just gonna say that. Like you just had Dan. I remember lying there like on a log, like taking cover with Bernie, and we have Dan and Marcus just behind us, and then we hear him just go hit hit at the same time. Me and Bernie look at each other like they've been hit before us. They've been hit before us. Like on our first game. But I remember turning around to be like and then just feeling this BB skim my head, and I was like, oh,
Oh
like that.
shit.
So yeah, that was the first game, and I didn't really have anyone helping me. I didn't really have any men kind of telling me where to go, like telling me what to do or anything like that. I didn't even have Dan doing it. I think it's like the more I've got into it, the more I'm trying to like go by myself, go like do strategic things by myself. I've had more men kind of be more patronizing towards what I've
Yeah.
maybe said to them, because I'm a girl, they don't like listening to me, which is sometimes fair enough. Maybe I'm talking shit sometimes because I haven't done it for that long.
Yeah.
But sometimes I am right, and sometimes I need to accept it and just
Right.
kind of like just understand that I'm not there to trying to be like, oh, I'm a girl, you need to listen to me. It's like kind of
Right.
like we're on the same team, we're trying to do the same objective.
Yep.
Maybe give it a go. Is yeah, instead of just kind of like, no, you do this, you go there, like kind of thing. But I've definitely found the more I got into it, the more involved with something I get, the more I don't know, the more men seem a little bit more patronizing sometimes. This is
Yeah.
only like a small majority. Most of the people I speak to are lovely, like
Right.
100% would like shoot with them again, kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
they haven't been horrible, they haven't been patronizing. It is just a small minority,
Yeah.
but it's still a little bit annoying.
Yeah, it is. And you know, it just needs to be a non-issue, you know,
Yeah,
like
there should just
nothing, like just non-issue at all.
yeah, just like see everyone like as a Barbie doll. Like there's nothing there, kind
Yeah.
of thing. Just we're all there to play airsoft.
Right.
Like that kind of situation, if that makes sense.
For real.
Yeah, no, it's just a small minority that sometimes just need to like suck it up. Like girls like airsoft too, girls play
Yeah.
airsoft too, girls are good at airsoft too. Like you kind of need to suck it up, like get on with
Yeah.
it, play a game,
Right.
have
Like
fun.
it's I think I grew up with two sisters. I'm the middle child. So I have an older and younger sister. And then of course being in the military, I think it really, you know, kind of helped growing up that way and adjusting. You know, my parents treated us all the same. Now, obviously, you know, there was a little, once I was a teenager and I was, you know, or close to a teenager, I had a growth spurt when I was 12. So, you know, I was a lot taller and that kind of thing. So when me and my sisters would get in fights, my dad's like, you know, you don't do this, you know, you don't do that. I'm like, and I never did, but it was, I'm like that they're smacking me all day. Like, you know, when we, you know, just have spats and stuff. And
Yeah,
so but you know, you get used to this, this, we're all treated the same, doesn't matter. Um the bottom line is respect. So no matter
exactly. Yeah,
what, it was, so I don't have hair, you have long hair, we have different, you know, biological bodies, so what? Okay.
yeah. It's literally you're there for a game of airsoft. Like
Exactly.
it doesn't matter. It's not that deep. Like it's
Yeah,
not
it's
that
not
deep.
that deep, it's not a big
You
deal.
just you're
Some
literally
people
there just to
do
have
get
fun.
really funny about being told what to do, whether it's from someone new, either even a guy,
Yeah,
or being told what to do by a girl.
yeah,
And I just laugh. I'm like, bro, if you've got a good idea about what to do, I don't give a shit who it comes from. Let's do
yeah.
it.
Exactly.
Like,
Like Like I've been told, like at AI 500, we were stuck down this corridor, like really badly stuck down this corridor. There were points where I was listening to other people, like, and there were points where people were kind of listening to me,
Yeah.
and it was like completely like mutual respect. If it was like that all the time, it would be fantastic.
Right.
But there'll be some times where I'd be like, look, why don't you try this? And I'll do that. And they'll be like, no, why don't you do that? And it's kind of like,
What?
all right.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
annoying.
it's weird. I've noticed as well when they realize, because I can't really hide like the fact that I've got all of this. Like I kind of can now because I've got that like mask from Lone Star Tactical. Like you just like kind of
Oh,
pop your
right.
hair in and pull it up and you kind of get away with it. But like my face shape, I feel like it's a little bit womanly because I do wear makeup there.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when they realize I've shot them and they look and it's a girl, they don't take that hit.
Oh.
Like they are so butthurt that
Oh,
a
that's
girl's hit
fucked.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So it's just kind of like you pop them a few more times and then you give them a chance and then you just kind of like lift it towards like their head that they're going to take their hit, like kind of thing. Obviously, don't hit them in the head
Oh, that's
unless
funny.
unless they don't call their hit like a couple of times. Then it's like a kind of like a warning shot, like take your hit. Otherwise, full autos
Mhm.
get switched on. Yeah, go full kicking.
I think that's going to change. You know, there's with more and more people, different backgrounds, and obviously you know, more girls getting into airsoft. That'll just kind of work itself out. I think you're always going to have the one or two people that are really just like knuckleheads or, you know, Neanderthals that just have this way of thinking that is you know, you can't do this, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Like,
it was like that when I used to play football. It was like that at
yeah.
school. It was kind of like you tell one of the lads that you play football, and they'll be like, "Name 5 football teams in the Premier League and 7 of their players," like kind of thing. It's just like I just said I play football. It's luckily
Oh,
airsofters
Jesus.
aren't really like that. They're like, "What you run? What's your rig?" and all that.
Yeah.
It's more just they get a little bit butthurt sometimes, but
Right.
again, small minority.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's good
think
though. Well, it's good that
yeah,
you can
but
get over it, you know.
yeah, it is what it is. Like, no point being sad over it. Sometimes it does get frustrating. Like AI, it was like a morning till afternoon type thing. So there were points in the day where it was a little bit frustrating,
Mm,
but I can't do anything about it other than just like go and enjoy the rest of my games. Like, just probably walk away from that particular person or that particular area and just go somewhere else and go have fun.
yeah.
Like, because the whole point of being there, really, like you take it seriously, but to a point, you are still there to have fun.
Yeah.
So, and I think um where I grew up mostly with my dad as well. My dad's kind of like drilled into my head like just because you're a girl doesn't mean anyone's ever going to push you around. Like
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
especially having 5 sisters as well, just so headstrong,
Right.
just super competitive. Kind of would prefer to, I don't know, just have it out with anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, yeah, that's part of anything in life, really, you know, wherever. You know, I talked with somebody a couple months ago that is trans. And towards the end of I knew that going into the podcast. In fact, he told me he like wanted to make sure it was okay because he didn't know how I was about it, you know. And I was like, bro, I don't care. Like,
Yeah,
I don't, that doesn't bother me. I don't, you know, because I was like, do you play airsoft? Do you like it? Well, then we have something to talk about. That's it. Like,
exactly.
it
It
doesn't
honestly, it
matter.
doesn't even, it literally doesn't even matter.
Uh-uh.
Like, if something doesn't affect you in any type of way, it really doesn't matter.
No.
Like if you're literally
Let people be free. Let people do what they want. If it's not hurting somebody
exactly,
else, like, why do you care?
it's such a stupid mentality. Like honestly, just to throw comments, insults, whatever. If
Yeah.
honestly, if it doesn't affect you in any sort of way, like fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
it
No shit.
literally it doesn't matter. Like I
Do you
don't know how
think,
many times I can say it. It
do you
literally doesn't
think
matter.
working in a pub, do you think working in a pub kind of helped you with kind of that, you know, thick skin, I guess?
uh yeah, yeah, probably. I did used to work in like a nightclub as well, so it being that whole part of like nightlife and pub life, you do have to have the thick skin, because you do get like the couple geezers that come in and are like, "Oh, you're right, treacle," things like this, and you're like, "Don't call me treacle." Like you do kind of like develop like the whole kind of like the banter attitude towards it, because
Right.
it's the easiest way to deal with it.
Yep.
And if you show them that you're not bothered, they probably won't do it again. So yeah, I've probably got a little bit of thick skin from that, but don't know. I think I mostly just got it just having so many sisters, like, because
Yeah.
you just like kind of growing up around like strong female people, like,
Right.
and they probably think the same as me, like, because whenever they'd be in trouble, I'd be the person they text, because I kind of had no filter, probably slight bit of anger issues, but yeah, no, just
Hell
being
yeah.
headstrong. Plus, living with my nan as well. My nan's Maltese. Like the Maltese, we're so fiery, so headstrong, so just like kind of, we will say that our opinion. Like if you're offended,
Yeah. That's it.
yeah, pretty much.
Well, when I was talking with Englefield Echo a few weeks ago, this kind of thing came up, and I was like, I don't understand why people are so sensitive. Like, and I said this thing in the podcast where I was like, look, if somebody calls you fat and ugly and stupid, and you have glasses, you don't have glass, I mean, you're going to get made fun of for whatever. Like, you can be the best looking person, somebody's still going to find something to say about you. That's just human beings. So, and what I said was, just if they say stuff like that, just laugh or whatever. Like, you can't. And this is something we grew up with, and I'm sure a lot of families teach their kids, is sticks and stones will break my bones, words will never hurt me, kind of thing. And I understand that's an old kind of style of teaching, but really what it is saying, look, you cannot control what somebody else does. You can't control what they do, or what they do or what they say. So you definitely can't control what they say to you. So how do you deal with it? The best way to deal with it is to become strong enough to where whatever they say to you doesn't hurt you as much. And that's something that's developed over time as you grow older, as you get older, from a little kid or something. But it's, what really can you do? You got to shake it off. And obviously there's a balance with that. If somebody's constantly after you, kind of thing, there is a point to take action or whatever, but most of the time you just got to shrug it off, like, whatever, bro.
Exactly. The only opinion that really matters is how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, because if you're gonna let it affect you, then you're gonna start hating yourself. So that literally the only thing you can do is just like completely respect yourself and your opinions and what type of person you are.
Yeah.
And whatever they say, you just kind of bounce back and be like, well, that's not what I think about myself. That isn't what I am, like, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
any insult, you just brush it off. It is easier that way. Obviously, sometimes it does. You're human; it gets to you.
Sure.
But yeah, how you respond to yourself doing something, I think, is the biggest kind of
Absolutely.
mantra. What's the word? That one.
Yeah. I don't know how to say it, actually. I've said it both ways. Mantra.
That's why I said it both
Mantra.
ways, 'cause I wasn't sure.
All right. Well, listen, Caitlin, it's been so did you get over your nervousness?
Yes and no. I've been doing quite a lot of like kind of moving around, which is quite nice. Like, I've got like my ring on like, as like a little fidget spinner.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely it's a lot better than I thought, which is what
Yeah.
usually happens. My anxiety goes like tips me over the edge. I do something and I'm like, that wasn't that bad.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's been good.
Well, you know what I learned too about doing these, when I was really nervous, obviously I tried, the drinking thing, and I did that for a lot of podcasts, and I would try to limit it. But then what I found was, if I stayed busy right up until like 2 minutes before I had to, start it, it helped so much. So I would like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? Oh yeah, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. Because before I would sit here and wait for like 20 minutes, I'd be ready. And I'm sitting here like, checking all my
that
stuff.
was me
All right,
earlier.
everything's working, everything's set up, and I'm like, fuck. And then I just sit here and get nervous.
That was me earlier because obviously I didn't have like the stuff I thought I was going to use. So I was like, oh no, I need to download Zoom, and then sat here for like 20 minutes. Like, what do I do? Literally just sat in this area. I have not moved.
Oh shit. Well, you did
Yeah, I'll know
awesome.
for
Like
next time.
you're very nice to talk with.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Seemed like a great person. So I'm really glad I got to meet you and Dan, and I'm glad I got to finally get you on here after.
Yeah, I'm actually glad I done it. I'm glad I done it. There was a moment today where I was like, can I do it?
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of waiting for a text to like, I don't know.
I did text you saying I was nervous instead.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you were honest, and that's like I said, that is most people, and that's me. In fact, the podcast I did last night, we did kind of a first run of a different type category of podcast that we did. So we had 6 of us on the podcast, and these are all guys I've talked with before. Like I've had them all on the podcast previously. So there was no reason for me to be nervous, and I was fucking nervous. And I'm going, what am I doing? Why am I nervous? I just don't get it, And then of course, first minute into it, I was good, but I still get butterflies about it sometimes.
Yeah, no, I do that before usually an airsoft game. I usually kind of like get in my head being like, oh, I'm probably doing this year. I'm gonna be awful. And then all of a sudden the whistle blows. I'm off. I'm instructing people. Dan's being told what to do in the background. Yeah. You just get in your own head about silly things.
Well, I appreciate you being on. And where can people find you online?
My Instagram is airsoft_cat with a 4 for the A because I'm edgy.
Elite speak. Yeah.
It's because it was taken. So yeah. So airsoft_cat. My other normal socials would just be Caitlin Collins. You could probably follow my airsoft account through that.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night. Let me say bye to Dan real quick. Is he still there?
Hey,
see you, brother.
Yes.
All right.
With the
Pringles.
Pringle can.
Yes. Favorite snack.
Yeah, no, mine too.
Oh,
Anyway,
shit.
thank you very much.
All right. Have a good night.